And good evening, everyone. Happy New Year's Eve, 10:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the evening of Sunday, December 31st, 2023. 1 hour away from being 2024. Just a quick live stream here. If you are in the celebratory mood, this is probably not going to be a good live stream for you to be watching. And the title of this particular live stream, right now I just have 500,000, but more to the point, as I reviewed a few days ago, and within the United States of America, the projections for the total number of fatal overdose deaths within the United States, which opioid-related deaths are a large percentage of that, is probably going to be the all-time high, all-time record in the year 2023. Projections are 110,000, 115,000, maybe 117,000. This does not include deaths, which were overdoses where the death certificate was manipulated to say something else, such as COVID. There's been a lot of good work done by John Bodwin, who has found a couple dozen cases, potentially of that, potentially, allegedly, just in the state of Massachusetts. But those, of course, those drug overdoses are not being counted as drug overdoses. So this is the actual number of drug overdoses within the United States of America. Fatal overdoses, 2023. It's going to be between 112,000, maybe 115,000, maybe a bit higher. We don't know. Not including drug overdoses, which were marked down as something else, like COVID. And this means that if you look at the data that we have for the years, including 2019, which was, I think, in the 70,000 range, between 2019, 20, 21, 22, and now 23, the United States of America has had 500,000 fatal drug overdoses in a 5-year period. And if you do it by months, effectively, there is over 80% overlap between that and COVID right now. Previously, 2022 was the record at 109,680, again, not including the total number of death certificates which had the fatal drug overdose marked down as something else, such as COVID. And the number of times that happened it's debatable. Could be dozens, could be a few thousand. Statistically, it's not the big number. In early 2020, and this is one of the issues why I got involved in wanting to do citizen research, was to understand why this issue was not being reported on. And I'll go back to the longer term data in a second. During 2021, I had a sense that things were getting much worse. And I was told by the people who I was trusting at the time that, Mark, this gain of function issue, this gain of function virus, this COVID thing is the bigger story now. And I acquiesced to that belief. After all, I had no idea what was really going on with the pandemic overall. After we had the world all-time record in the United States in 2020, during 2021, I wanted to talk more about it. I did some videos about severity, and I had friends of my son die. And I was told, Mark, we have to focus on this gain-of-function virus, lab leaks, COVID. And I acquiesced to that. 2022, the record was set yet again. My son died that year. And I was told, Mark, we need to focus on the virus. By my friends, people I thought were on my side. In 2023, I realized that statistically, when they were calling flu deaths COVID deaths in the United States of America, that did not increase overall mortality. I realized that they were using these excess record numbers of drug overdose deaths to effectively backfill from a total mortality perspective the missing flu deaths. Hence, in a very simple and very clever way, the drug overdose epidemic within the United States of America has been used to fuel the perception of a deadly novel virus. And I was again told, Mark, we need to focus on the cancers. We need to focus on the prion diseases. We need to focus on these bad vaccines. We need to focus on the contaminations. Again, I was basically told to shut the hell up. I'm stark raving mad right now. And as we go into this new year, I want it to be absolutely clear, no uncertainty, that the individuals who have continued to push this issue to the side, who would not say very clearly and upfront that this was used to justify excess mortality, hence, and blaming it on the coronavirus, are all guilty of murder. 500,000 is still not enough to get a 5-minute news clip over 5 years. 500,000, mostly under the age 45, is still not enough to move the needle. 500,000 is still not enough to, oh my goodness, we can finally stop talking about the gain of function virus for just a few minutes. 500,000 is still not enough. Will 1 million be enough? 2 million? 10 million? When adjusting for the number of years not lived of American lives, factoring the entire lost generation, people being lost before they even have kids of their own, the total impact of the drug overdose epidemic in the United States is 17 times greater than years not lived by Americans from COVID. And that's assuming the COVID numbers are correct, which they're not. Still not enough. Still not enough. So, in addition to that, we've heard this ridiculous, absurd statement from Dr. Denny Rancourt that the United States has shown no excess mortality until the shots began. Well, F you, Denny Rancourt. F you. Have you looked at this chart? Because if you looked at this chart, Denny Rancourt, you would realize that the opioid epidemic started. Really, it surged in 2014, 2015. I could make the case that all the numbers over 35,000 are actually excess. You can't take the record of 2019 and say that's the baseline. You can't do that. The opioid epidemic started years before. The baseline is actually in the 30,000 range. We have massive, massive excess death from this. Massive. Especially age-adjusted. Massive. And the reason why I believe Denny Rancourt is now allowed to tour the world, toot-tootin' with Robert Malone, is because he won't mention this, which means he is either an incompetent statistician or also in the group that's complicit in this murder. Remember, if it wasn't for the perception of the novel virus in the first place, there would be no emergency use authorizations. Steve Kirsch, Pierre Corey, all of them complicit in murder because they won't talk about this. All of them. Robert Malone, Meryl Nass, murder. It's awful. All of them. All the people in this controlled alt media world, they're all part of this. It's disgusting and it's sad. I am absolutely outraged that none of them have the capability to talk about this. that they actually are so concerned about their own little rewards for whatever it is that they do, that they are allowing this to happen. If they had the guts, if they had the morals, if they had the heart to start doing this last year, the third year after telling me to shut the F up, maybe we wouldn't have had another record, but we did. We did. This only goes up to 2021. No excess mortality. Give me a break, Denny Rancourt. Give me a break. So, this is just a short video. I'm going to have to be taking a break in January somehow. I have extensive communications to recoup. My studio, wiring-wise, is a catastrophe. I have some machines to upgrade. Maybe I'll still be doing daily videos just to do maybe highlights on a news clip or something. But I'm, aside from Jessica Hockett, Jonathan Cooey, maybe a few others who personally are on board with this, the rest of the crowd just sucks wind. They all suck wind. It's disgusting. They're all complicit in this murder by not talking about it. They're all working against the country. They're all working against the youth. Anyways, this is my end of the year message. My end of the year message is I'm disgusted. But I'm extremely motivated going forward. God have mercy on all of you for not talking about this and for continuing to push your nuclear warfare worst case scenario crap. God have mercy on you. That's it, everyone. Take care. Happy New Year. God bless.